Hi, and welcome to More to Media on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Jeff Swartz, and I have a very special guest all the way from the UK in Mykel Hedge from ZND, or ZND, I guess, if you're across the pond. Thanks for being on the show, Mykel.
No problems.
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about this interview because ZND is more of a manufacturer of temporary fences, and it is in multiple countries, global kind of company, right? So it's a little bit different than what you think of for like advertising and media base. But I have always said that I think industrial manufacturers can leverage those kind of assets a lot more efficiently than what they are doing, and you're kind of pioneering that for your company. So take me through a little bit about how you're leveraging marketing and advertising at ZND.
Yeah, so as you rightly point out, we're a manufacturer, so we target as our customer base people right at the top. So we don't sell to the end user, we sell to the companies that deal with end users, so wholesale or very large scale rental companies in the US. And essentially the way we're trying to fit in is to appear as an option for customers. It's an old-fashioned market. I think that's the best way of putting it in the US, so there's not been a great deal of change. And we're bringing quite a lot of change to the market. So what we're trying to do is just essentially let our customers or our potential customers know that we're actually even an option. So we're leveraging essentially an account-based marketing approach for that.
Yeah, and I actually was going to ask you about account-based marketing approach. I know that's a very critical piece of your plan. Why do you think it's so important to really target that audience at a niche level and go after it on an account level basis?
Yeah, to be fair, it's largely down to the fact that our customer base is arguably incredibly small. There's only a handful, comparatively speaking, a handful of businesses that we would be dealing with in the US. So a broader approach would just hit far too many people who's basically completely and utterly irrelevant, unfortunately, just because of the scale of business that we have to deal with. Additionally, there's many different decision makers in our target accounts. They might have been doing business with their current suppliers for, in many cases, many decades. So the account-based marketing approach, one, means that we're not wasting a great deal of spend on targeting users who are largely irrelevant, but also that we're focusing our spend on really delivering the key messaging to people who are actually in the positions to make a decision. So it's essentially driven by we always want to be there. So whenever, say, for example, their current supplier lets them down, or if there's a current issue with their supplier, we become a natural choice. They're not having to start the journey looking for an alternative. We hopefully will have kind of saturated their awareness levels to the point where they already know we're an alternative.
Yeah, I think that that's really smart, and it makes a lot of sense. And the cool thing is nowadays is you can really leverage digital components as well as swag and all these different kind of elements to really narrow in. And the days of buying an ad in the industry-specific publication has really been amplified with that targeting, right? So with this evolution and this change that is occurring, what do you think the future holds for manufacturers as it relates to marketing and advertising?
To be fair, for manufacturers such as ourselves who are targeting large-scale businesses, the account-based marketing approach is by far the most sensible, and the ability now to be able to deliver highly targeted advertising means you can address the specific benefits of dealing with you as a company to the most appropriate people within that business. So one example could be, for example, in procurement, obviously from our point of view, with the ability to ensure that the products actually arrive on site at the right time, so they're not getting heat from their bosses. the targeting level now means we can actually deliver that important message that nobody else would particularly care about, because if you're a project manager, you don't deal with the purchasing side of things. But the procurement side would obviously want to be able to ensure that their role within the business is actually catered for by dealing with you.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and think that it's only going to expand, and it's going to get more and more elaborate and more interesting. And in manufacturing, I think that it is also a big aspect of the marketing and advertising is supporting the traditional sales efforts that industrial and manufacturing kind of support as well. Well, Mykel, thank you so much for being on Daily Ad Briefs episodes of More to Media. They're going to have more information at dailyadbrief.com if you want to get in touch with Mykel as well too. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time on More to Media.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.